Hello and welcome to another version of the Twins Fusion Show. My name is Christy and this is my twin sister.
I'm Kathy.
And we talk weekly on certain topics that are about spiritual topics and topics that are in the news. And today we're going to be talking about the divine reversals and some of the reversals that have happened culturally and politically and that sort of thing since Trump came in and environmentally. And Kathy, do you want to talk about just a little bit about, the system that was in and how things are being reversed, etc.?
Yeah, we can do. I mean, basically the globalists were running everything. I mean, they had gotten wielded power by stealth and by thievery over the last, especially over the last 200 years in this country, but to the point where they had almost complete control. They had bought off all the neocons. They had bought off almost all the progressives. So they pretty much in our Congress, they had in our legislature and in the judiciary, whoever they had elected. I mean, they pretty much had their guys, sorting out their agenda. So these guys are Luciferians, so they serve Satan, and Satan inverts everything. So anything that God does, he'll invert it. He'll turn it upside down. He's not creative. He's just a moron. So he can't create anything system. So he has to just turn upside down God's system. And in the energy realm, that does do some damage to righteousness and good things coming on the earth. And as far as high vibrations and things like that, it does put a jink in it. So it does have some power. And they have tried to destroy everything. With the chemtrails, they've tried to destroy water, they've tried to destroy land, our air, what we breathe, everything, the water supply, everything. So the globalists have been, systematically trying to take out our land, try to poison our land, poison our people, kill our children, kill, through abortions, and then kill us and make us sick through all of the GMOs and poisoning our water and things of that nature. So that was sort of the turning the upside down of the good, turning it upside down for ill. So that's kind of what the Lord's doing now, is taking what they've been inverting and bringing the low energy vibration, the low frequencies, and the Lord's flipping it over. Yeah. And so now that it's turning right side up again, we're starting to see the higher frequencies, we're starting to see joy, we're starting to see positive things happen for the globe, for the U.S., and in our own lives.
And the people that are against the apple cart getting set back up right, have been living in that darkness for so long. They've become accustomed to that rebellion, that darkness, the destruction, that sort of stuff, the killing and killing babies and blah blah blah. So they're fighting against it because, well, a lot of them have something to lose, but. So Gabby, but there are good things that we've seen even since Trump got in. There have been some reversals that are happening, so even before he stepped into office.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you've seen happen? What kind of reversals have you seen happen since he got in?
Well, I mean, we've seen the media be put down. I mean, that's a big thing because they pretty much ruled the narrative, and now they're so walking all over each other and stumbling they don't even know what they're doing. So that's one thing. Trump just bypasses them and goes to the tweet, and they're becoming irrelevant. So that's one thing. Also, too, the chemtrails in California, the chemtrails that were causing drought for 18 years. Yeah. Since Trump got in, there's been downpour, Christy, because you live in California. You had nothing but rain for 3 months, and now 40% of California is out of drought. And the rest of it's soon to follow. They're almost out of a drought. That's after 18 years.
Yeah.
So all these chemtrails aren't working. And you saw chemtrails. You lived in California for 20 years. Yeah. You've seen chemtrails the whole time. You've been there, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them.
So they've been doing them. And what the chemtrails do, there was somebody from the NOAA, the National Ocean Something Association, and they said they were baffled, this one whistleblower, he said they were baffled, they would see clouds forming out over the coast of California but then once they got to the land, it just dissipated, and they were just baffled by it. But what these chemtrails do, they'll put in, I don't know exactly how it is because I'm not a scientist, but they'll put like aerosols and all kinds of stuff in the air, which will make the water evaporate. And then they do something with the HAARP radio telescope,
Energy waves, yeah.
telescopes or whatever, not telescopes, radio dishes,
Yeah.
and it'll pinpoint it and then make everything dissipate. And there's nanotechnology in that stuff too, apparently. I don't know for a fact, but that's what we've heard. And that was what was causing all the water to dissipate, not have rain in California. So anyway, they're still trying to do it. I mean, have you seen chemtrails, Christy, lately?
Yeah, I haven't lately.
You haven't? Okay.
I mean,
Maybe they stopped, but now the rains are coming, and we just think that it's a sign that since Trump got in, since Trump was elected, they've had nothing but rain, and now the drought is almost over. And we think that we're going to see the financial drought almost over, is going to be over. We're going to see this country going back to work. And Christy, why don't you tell everybody about, just some of the economic stuff, the factories and some of the jobs and the companies that are moving.
Okay,
here.
well, we've all heard about the American companies that are coming back. Lockheed Martin, GM, Ford, Carrier. We've heard of all those companies that are coming back because of, they're trying to avoid Trump's import tax. And they're also coming back because Trump has decided that he's going to lower taxes on corporations to 15%. I hope to God he does lower it to 15%. That'll be good for all of us. But another thing that's happening is there's a lot of foreign companies moving here because they want to avoid the tax and they'd like to be closer to their consumers. So a couple Chinese companies, I know particularly Taiyuan Garments is moving to Arkansas, and they're going to create about 400 jobs. And then there's Sun Paper Mill, it's another Chinese company that's moving to Arkansas, and there's going to be a couple hundred, 200 and 300 jobs that they're creating there with that. And so because of Trump's, just even his threat, I mean, a lot of these companies, like even Ford came back before he even got into office.
And Carrier, too.
Carrier, I think, came in before he even got elected because they knew he was going to be elected somehow down the grapevine.
But you know what Christy was saying was there's a Chinese companies that are coming.
But there's other companies too that are scouting our land. I mean, the Secretary of the Commerce in North Carolina was talking about the fact that they're being pursued by a lot of different people because they've heard that a lot of different countries, companies from different countries, also other American companies because they have low taxes there. They keep them low to keep the commerce flowing, and they're in the United States. So there's a lot of, even now, which you don't really hear about except for maybe some business section of some obscure part of a paper, about all this stuff that's coming right now since Trump got in. And another thing that's happening is that the Rust Belt, a lot of the old factories in the Rust Belt are getting bought up by investors because they're anticipating that industrial move back to this country that's already happening. And so that's a super, super good sign that, not only these Chinese companies and other companies from other countries are buying up old factories in the Rust Belt, which they're getting for nickels and dimes. Our brown
you said
zones,
like Detroit too. You said a lot of them are going to Detroit.
Yeah, a lot of them are going to Detroit. Yeah, so our brown zones are starting to get revamped already, and Trump hasn't even been in for 100 days.
Yeah.
So it's just pretty amazing how accelerated this inversion is.
And it's not Trump. It's not Trump. He was the beginning of it. This is God doing this.
Yeah,
this is God turning it over. Trump is a facilitator of it,
right.
and one of God's guys that are going to do it.
Right.
Right. But it's going to happen. It's happening.
Yeah, it's
happening. It's awesome.
Yeah. So there's good things happening on the economic realm. Also, on the financial realm, we can both talk about this. We both know that the Federal Reserve had a charter from 1913 through 2013, and that their charter to legally operate is over. Now, Obama and the globalists who control him just allowed them to continue to operate, to print money, to act as our central bank, and that isn't going to be allowed anymore.
Well, they've been illegal. I mean, they really have been illegally, coining money, which is
For so many
Congress is
years.
supposed to coin money, not a private banking institution. So it's completely, and the whole Federal Reserve Act was completely anti-constitutional.
Yeah,
And it was passed in the wee hours of
Yeah.
some, I think, or Christmas Day or something, 1913, with like 5 senators, or whatever. Everybody else was on vacation or whatever. That's how it got passed in the wee hours and nobody was there. So, it's been illegal from the start. They've been robbing us from the start. And, taxing people's income has always been not constitutional. And, our federal government runs entirely on other taxes, not the income tax. The income tax that the Federal Reserve collects goes right into the Federal Reserve, that private bank, and they just blow our money however they want to.
So 40% of our income is going to run their private bank.
The private bank. And it doesn't even go to the running of our country. Yeah. So it's just ludicrous, and it's infuriating. But anyway, their charter's up. Christy and I are believing, and because we're Christians and we pray, and that if this is an illegal organization, this is yet another organization that is going to get flipped over and gone.
Yeah.
When this whole inversion thing is happening now at steamrolling pace.
The IRS,
that's one institution. That and the
and the IRS, which is the law enforcement branch of the Federal Reserve, completely illegal. Like you said, collecting income taxes. I mean, I don't even think before 1913 even the states collected income taxes. Did they?
I don't think so. I mean, I can't be sure about that, but I don't think they did.
So the federal government definitely didn't before that.
Well, the federal government didn't collect. I don't think they collect. Yeah, they definitely didn't collect income tax from.
Yeah.
They collected taxes from the state, but.
Yeah, whatever the state collected.
Well, but also too the UN. The UN is going to be another thing that either that thing is going to sink into the ocean or it's moving to Brussels, because it is getting off our shores. That's another thing the Lord is going to do. Turn that thing inside out. All the corruption, all the pedophilia, everything that's going on is going to just bring these people down.
The pedophile ring and then the Roe v. Wade thing. So let's talk about the pedophile ring exposing people.
That's coming down. This whole Pizzagate thing, trended for weeks and weeks and weeks. Quite without the media. It was on Facebook, it was on Twitter, it was on all of these things. It just ran off because, WikiLeaks brought the stuff out, And but there's even more allegations. They had Anthony Weiner, and then they've got a lot of stuff that intel that they've got that they're going to get these people the
Podesta emails and the Podesta emails and the Weiner emails are implicating so many people in this child pornography ring. It's not even funny. The Clintons, just to name a few, there are Democratic and Republican senators that have been involved in this.
Well, if anybody's listening to Kathy O'Brien,
if
you heard Kathy O'Brien's testimony, it's been gone way back,
But the thing is, but this pedophile ring, there's so many people, and that's why they're fighting so hard against Trump, is because there's a lot of people in Congress and the Senate who have a lot of dirt to that's going to be exposed pretty soon. So they're trying to get rid of him as soon as possible
because they know he will expose it.
Yeah, there's nothing. They don't have anything on him. He's not.
No, they can't. Yeah, they can't bribe him. They can't blackmail him.
Yeah, because he's clean.
Yeah.
And so
they've tried. They've tried. Everything has fallen to the ground.
Yeah.
The guy's meticulous.
Yeah.
So
I'm seeing people like, I hate to say it, but McCain and people like that. Once this stuff comes out, I'm not saying for sure that they're in this pedophile ring, but we're pretty sure. And, it's just going to implicate so many people, it's not even funny. But, and something will be done about it this time. It's not like the Clintons who all their stuff was exposed and then it was just dropped after the election. Clintons are...
No, the Lord is turning it back right side up.
Yeah, so these people will I know they'll get prosecuted. They'll at least lose their jobs as a representative, the states that they're representing. Anyway, so they're all fighting pretty hard right now. But what was that? What about that Russian diplomat that got killed in?
Yeah, that was a Russian diplomat that Flynn was talking to that had that pedophile
The
list.
UN.
And then a week later, the dude gets whacked.
Yeah, the UN
You
ambassador.
know, I think that I mean personally think that's why Flynn stepped down because he's doing some undercover stuff with that, and he didn't want to be because his family's been threatened before.
Yeah.
So I think he stepped down. I mean, nobody's given the straight answer why he got fired or stepped down. Or no one has given us a straight answer.
Right.
So I think he's probably going underground just so he doesn't get whacked like this other guy and can just actually,
I've
you know,
heard
get
that.
the
I've
stuff
heard
up.
that he's gone underground because he's going to be part of it. I will not say. But anyway, so it was all by design that he resigned. That wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think it was
happened. The Trump administration. That was by design. Yeah. So, I've heard that there's some federal court judges actually that are in this pedophile ring that are involved in it. I don't know if that's true.
Well, Mark Taylor was talking about the Mark Taylor prophecy. If any of you guys know him, that retired firefighter, he was talking about how there was going to be one Supreme Court judge that died, one was going to resign. One was going to retire, and then 3 were going to be caught in a scandal. And some people have assumed that some of these judges may be caught in, like what you were saying.
Yeah, it could be
in
other
the
things.
pedophile scandal.
Could be other things too, but it could be part of that. There's so many people that we're finding out are involved in it. It's just really sad.
Yeah.
But so if some judges are involved in it right now, I don't think Roe v. Wade could get overturned. Do you? I mean, based on the judges that are there right now. But if the Mark Taylor prophecy is true and 3 have to resign, and Ginsburg will probably die, I don't know, but she's pretty old. But then some other reversals we could see are Supreme Court decisions like Roe v. Wade, things that have needed to die for 30, 40
Well,
years.
I think there's real hope that Roe versus Wade is going to get overturned under the Trump administration. I mean, that's like almost these guys are shaking in their boots.
Yeah.
This is the Luciferian, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah,
they'll kill babies.
Their blood
The
power.
bloodletting,
Yeah.
that's a ritual sacrifice, and then they sell their parts and make a mint off of it. I mean, these people are about ready to lose their demonic power, and they're about ready to lose their financial power.
Yeah, and that
So
yeah.
they're, and I think it's, people are thinking it's almost a for sure thing under the Trump administration.
So that's an incredible reversal.
But that's probably the best the biggest
But
groundbreaking
Trump's
reversal.
even reversing some of the weird stuff that weird and actually no boundaries violating kind of stuff that Obama put in, like that LGBT bathroom thing where little boys are going to the little girls' room.
Well, what about big boys going to the little girls'
Yeah,
room? Like
exactly.
Target,
Yeah, exactly.
your 5 or 6-year-old daughter's in there with some big man who's not even dressed like a woman because he doesn't have to dress transgender. He just has to say he's transgender
Right. Well, it was
to go into that bathroom.
Right, so Trump's
Ludicrous.
that. It's such bad boundaries. It's going to cause so much abuse of kids, more abuse for kids.
Yeah, more abuse for kids and traumatizing little girls. And
So anyway, so Trump's overturning that himself. He's getting a lot of flack. I love this man. He doesn't care what the PC police say to him, the mainstream media. He just does what is right.
he's got a sledgehammer.
We love this man and what God's doing through him. So Kathy, do you want to pray a little bit about it, and I can pray too about
Sure.
this move?
Yeah.
This reversal?
Lord, we just thank you that you are the one who is turning the whatever was inverted by the enemy, turning it right side up, and using your sledgehammers and your people in Congress, in the media, in finance, everywhere to turn everything around. It's like it's a snowball effect, and it's really just starting to happen. And as it's happening, it's just rolling and rolling. We're going to see it get bigger and bigger and bigger. The reversals, like Christy was talking about, the divine reversals. Divine reversals of our economy, divine reversal in our families, divine reversal in marriages, and children, and jobs, and finances, and
just starting.
Health.
Yeah, it's just starting. It's going to get better and better and better.
It is, but it's already so much has happened. I mean, California is 40% out of drought after 18 years,
and a couple inches away of being.
And in 3 months, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I mean, they're having some
Yes,
flooding problems,
yes,
but
Lord, we thank you so much for what you're doing. We thank you so much that you've come and you are delivering your people from the evil that others have caused, Lord, because they align with the enemy. And Lord,
Yeah.
we thank you so much for all that you do. We thank you for coming and accelerating and bringing your goodness. You are such a good God.
amen.
And we receive your goodness. We receive the goodness that you're a good Father. And we thank you, Father, just for continuing that work. And we're in agreement with it. And we will fight with you and pray with you for those that are opposing your good in this country. And we do. We bind the power of the enemy. We strip the power of the enemy in all of these areas that have caused destruction to our country, destruction to this world.